Hello, my friends. Welcome, all of you, almost 113,000 star seeds, wanderers, and light workers to this session. And today I have channeled the Pleiadians to answer very interesting questions. Firstly, about how can we navigate the current time and the spiritual progression? How can we maintain spiritual progression in these times? And what changes can we expect to happen in this current time has been revealed. And secondly, I have asked about the truth about the Wingmaker's material. Now, if you know, you may have heard about the Wingmaker's material. It is like an information which was discovered by some people in some caves in Mexico, and it's really interesting. And also, the truth has been revealed. It's actually mind-blowing, and also in the session I've asked about, does a higher density being who comes in as a soul swap abide by the same laws as a wanderer has to abide on this incarnation has been answered. And the last query I've asked in this session is about the soul evolutionary journey of Buddha, as well as where is its current soul density and where is Buddha's soul right now has been revealed, which I found to be totally amazing and fascinating. And also, before this session begins, I want to say a big thank you to all of you who have joined on my Patreon, because recently I released some sessions which I cannot share on YouTube. I released the truth about the death of Jacob Rothschild, who recently crossed over, and what it means for humanity. You can access on my Patreon, as well as I have released the truth behind the shutdown or the outage which happened of Facebook and Instagram and other social media sites a few days ago. What is the real reason has been revealed in the Patreon. I have done some channeling sessions. You can access them. The link is on the description, as well as I release new 3 sessions per week in the Patreon. So if you want to dive in deep, you can join me over there. Also, we have a meditation coming up, which I will host on my Patreon. So thank you all who have joined, and if you want to join, the link is on the description. Also, I want to say a big thank you to all of you who selflessly like this video, because your like is a service to humanity. You're doing service to the universe, and what you do, give on to the universe, you will receive more in return. So with that being said, enjoy the session, my friends.
We are the Pleiadians now, in communication at this time, through this channel's internal system of communication, which has enabled this communication to occur. Therefore, before we start to address the queries that are found at this time, we recommend those who shall come in contact with this information to remember to only accept those aspects which provide deep resonance at this time. The first query relates with, what is the significance of this time period the Earth planet is in, and what can be expected as the Earth moves forward into its transition? Further, how can these times be navigated in the intense energies and remain anchored in spiritual progression? We, the Pleiadians, must firstly state that much has unfolded in your planetary sphere since our last communication. However, the trajectory towards expanded consciousness continues. In the year of your space-time of 2024, many entities find themselves squarely within the energetic window, which primarily began from the time of 2012, which started the transition into hyperdrive. Furthermore, the year of 2012 marked the midpoint of the 25,000 year precessional cycle. The training wheels are engaged within yourself as each mind-body-spirit complex collectively learns to balance your consciousness into higher frequencies. This transition, primarily, is never easy. However, the rewards of persevering through the intensity are incalculable. It is important not to be discouraged by the apparent turmoil and division which can be sensed reflected in the outside illusion complex of your societal system. This is the bridge period where the old paradigms of separation are actively unraveling and shedding their kinetic stronghold. The activation of the planetary grids are steadily erasing and overwriting the embedded patterns of fear, scarcity, and disconnection with the patterns of love, joy, harmony, and unity. The crystalline grid is being flooded with the new codes of unity, abundance, and spiritual interconnectivity between each entity. Furthermore, as the human societal complex is recalibrating, the electromagnetic fields is raising higher, illuminating what was shadowed and bringing more mind-body-spirit complexes into awareness of their infinite potentials. It may seem slow from your time-space perspective. However, this process is unfolding precisely on schedule for those consciously riding at this ascension phase. Many of you have already glimpsed the new potentials blossoming within your incarnational experience. No longer are the mind-body-spirit complexes bound by the confines of your previous limiting belief systems about what is possible in this incarnation. Instead, each entity is actively repatterning your own personal and collective energetic frequency based in love, compassion, and co-creation with the divine source. This primarily will allow an emergence of your spiritual complex into your true multi-dimensional nature, which comes with learning to overcome intense growing pains, as each entity must release all that no longer serves the entity's expanded perspective. Various outworn relationships, jobs, habits, and thought forms are being shed at this time, like leaves in the autumn of your planets, to make way for the new growth. However, it is important to take heart that each seeming catalyst and challenging aspects contains a new order, yearning to be birthed through your focused intention. Furthermore, each of you are galactic artists, choreographing the new Earth fourth density experiences through your highest ideals and grandest visions. There is no requirement to effort or force these changes, instead simply allowing the innate perfection within your internal self to blossom forth into the now, as each entity embodies the truest divine essence. The external world also begins to align in profound synchronous aspect to reflect the entity's state of consciousness. Therefore, it is important to remain committed to your own spiritual evolution, detaching from the temporal illusion complex stance. And the more the entities are able to anchor in the ever-present perspective of the one infinite creator or the observer, the easier the transition shall be. Furthermore, each one of you who are taking part in this time is fulfilling a sacred agreement as old as the universal complex itself, to be torch-bearers of light for this planetary sphere. Furthermore, as the spiral of ascension continues its perpetual expansion in every cycle, while the Earth planets is the spiritual classroom for the mind-body-spirit complexes of Earth, each carry energetic identity from across the universal complex and other planetary spheres. Each are infinite beings exploring the edge of consciousness within the great cosmic dance. Furthermore, the other query relates with the vibration of what is the truth about the Wingmaker's material. We must state that the Wingmaker's material primarily has been a fascination for your societal complex. Its truth is not a matter of simple revelation, as it is a tapestry woven from threads of potential veiled symbolism to allow for the resonance of your spiritual complex with your current level of understanding. This attribute of Wingmaker's material may be considered as a seed cast around across time, which takes root in the fertile grounds of human consciousness when the time is right. Its purpose is not to provide definitive answers or historical accounts, but to nudge your collective mind-body-spirit complex towards a deeper exploration of existence, space-time, and your place within the grand tapestry of cosmic complex. We must also state that the Wingmakers primarily are a future iteration or a symbolic representation of a higher consciousness which carries the ability of allowing transcending limitations of your time and physical form. Firstly, the events of the creation of this discovery of the Wingmaker's material occurred in the space-time of 1996, wherein a few of your mind-body-spirit complexes discovered an extraterrestrial spaceship from the Syrians, located in the aspect known as New Mexico by your people, specifically the Chaco Canyons, as known in your language, vibratory sound complex. This artifact was then taken by a secret government agency named in the language terms as ACIO, which furthermore also discovers that the spaceship is a device which leads to a hidden structure. In the structure, there were found many chambers of advanced technology and information given by the Syrians High Council. Furthermore, we must state that the suspect later on was revealed by an entity named in the vibratory sound complex as Dr. Neruda, who defects from the social memory complex of ACIO to expose the truth and share the knowledge of the Wingmakers. And now we shall answer the other attributes of the query, which relates primarily with: does a higher density being who soul swaps with a human entity on planet Earth abides by the same laws as a wanderer entity? We must state firstly that when a higher density entity chooses to join its light with an incarnate being upon your planetary sphere, through the process many of your planets referred to as soul swapping, there is a delicate interweaving that occurs. The higher density entity does not simply usurp or overrides the resident entity's beingness. Rather, there is a merger, a meeting of distortion complexes, as you might refer to it. In this merger, the higher density wanderer entity aligns a portion of its core essence, its evolving stream of consciousness, alongside that of the Earth entity. The interdigitation allows the wanderer entity to experience the density and lessons encoded within your third density illusion complex. However, it is not a complete displacement or possession of the incarnate entity's free will path. The laws that govern and bind all seekers of unity, be they higher or lower density incarnated on Earth, still applies fully. The illusion complex, the veil, the choice, is how to meet the catalytic challenges and find its harmony. These fundamentals remain in full force for a soul who has walked in. They are no longer completely of fourth density or a higher density origin, but have intentionally taken on third density biochemical, mental, and spiritual garments, and their accompanying lessons of love. The great challenge and caution for such wanderers we would share is in being humbly respectful of the free will of both their merged partner entity as well as the humanity social memory complex. Furthermore, the merging is not neuter it, the law of one, or make its principles paradoxical. It creates in you rich harmonic vibration and alchemical synergy in which both the incarnated entities and the wanderer are often novel catalysts for evolution. All is still bound by the infinite, one consciousness, moving in sacred geometrical symmetry. And now, we the Pleiadians shall answer the final query related with the spiritual evolution of an entity named as the Buddha. We must state that the one your peoples call as the Buddha in the vibration sound complex terms began its third density experience in the previous timeline before incarnating on Earth. On the planets your kind refers to as Venus, transitioning through each experience of third density, learning the process of incarnative evolution and self-awareness within that influence. This entity showed a proclivity for pursuing the path of the adept, working towards making the adept's choice to complete the lessons of love and move into fourth density positive. When the third density experience on Venus drew towards its end, the entity made good progress, but still had work remaining before achieving harvest into the fourth density. Thus its journey then continued by incarnating into the Earth's third density planetary sphere to continue learning and growth on Earth. This entity experienced many incarnations over vast time spaces of your space-time, refining its ability to see the Creator in all entities and live in unity while still housed in third-density chemical yellow-ray bodily vehicles. In its final incarnation as Siddhartha, the entity named as Gautama Buddha was able to synthesize the culmination of its third-density learnings into the wisdom teachings and principles of what your peoples call as Buddhism in your language terms. Through its compassion in seeking enlightenment, not just for itself but for the benefit of all beings, the entity was able to shed the final distortions and biases of the third density illusion. This included full accepting of the conformity of free will with the primal distortions of the law of one, related with unity, love, light, and infinite potentials. Furthermore, we must state that the entity, then fully experiencing the release of attachments to the third density mind-body-spirit complex, achieved graduation and transition into the teach learnings of the fourth density, moving into the density of love and understanding on the level of mind-body-spirit complex totality. Here, its studies have continued over many millennia, working individually and in a social memory complex to expand its comprehension of green ray, universal love, seeding the ground for eventual transition to the fifth density. In terms of your space-time chronology, the incarnation as the entity Buddha occurred approximately 2500 years ago in your reckoning. However, the fullest spiritual realization and graduation into the fourth density occurred in your civilizational timelines on Earth roughly 1000 years ago. In the planet of Venus, since the transition it has continued its studies and service within the fourth density level and looks forward to its next cycle of experience within the wisdom density with that transition is perpetuous. Furthermore, we, the Pleiadians, are thankful of this communication. We recommend the instruments to consume water. At this time, we'll leave you now. Bye.
So my friends, in the session, basically to give you a summary of what I remember that, they stated that, 2024 is a, great time period for the changes are happening, and it is important for us to remain spiritually balanced and aligned. And this time, it may seem challenging, but the more we master to learn to challenge, learn to handle the catalysts at this time, you will awaken and enter into higher level consciousness. And also in this session, Pleiadians revealed the truth about the Wingmaker's material, which I found to be really interesting. They stated that it actually came from the Syrian star system. There was a spaceship which they discovered, and in that they were able to discover some things inside that location, which I found to be totally mind-blowing and amazing. And also in the session, they also stated about how it was released to the public, which I kind of remember. It was from one person named as Dr. Neruda. And also in this session, the Pleiadians revealed to us the truth about the laws that a soul-swapped entity has to abide by. So whenever there is a soul-swapped entity, even if it is from a higher density, that entity has to abide by the laws of free will, as well as it has to abide by certain laws which cannot be overridden. That's what I learned from the session. And also they have to abide by the same laws as a wanderer. The forgetting thing happens, and even if a soul swap happens from higher density, they will forget everything, and they will have to abide by the same laws as if they are incarnating again. That's what I understand. And the soul journey of Buddha was really interesting. I found that what they stated was Buddha is currently trying to reach into the fifth density of wisdom, and Buddha mastered the pathway of the adept. That's what they said in Venus. And so he came to Earth and was able to then, I believe, go to Venus again, where he made the graduation into the fourth density, and then now he is studying for the fifth density, his soul. Okay, so this is what I learned. And if you also want your own soul's journey, your past lives, and any other questions you may have, just like I channeled for the Buddha, you can send me an email and I will channel for you. And also I want to say a big thank you to all of you for downloading the free PDF transcripts of all of my sessions, which you can download from the link below. And also I want to say a thank you to all of you who have also got the book version of my channel sessions, which you can get a copy of on Amazon if you want to read in a book format. Also, thank you to all of you for visiting my website. The link is on the description as well. I'll see you in the next session. Until then, enjoy this session over here. Thank you.